Hello, it was Power here to review the Power Rangers Dino Fury Dynamite Morpher. So this is the Morpher that is getting released for series season 2 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, which has yet to come, because as of it's literally January 26th. So obviously we don't know anything about this season. However, here we have the Morpher right here. Obviously, this is based off of the Max Russo changer from Roof Soldier, as we can see bashed here. Here is Dynamite, or like, is it just Dynamite Red? I don't know. Just a bunch of adult assembly stuff. Press the button, and then a thing saying the key inside, because this is a Dino Fury key. So then we got this kid right here, then just the things you can do with the Morpher itself. And then you got this cool quad design and such, plastic free packaging, the environment, woohoo! And then essentially a summary of what this toy can do, as this has 3 modes: lightning, fire, and ice. Even though I don't know why lightning is purple. But, motion activated, and then here's the hook and such. I do actually like that this is now in a square, because I forgot the Dino Fury Morpher wasn't. But, yeah, that's essentially it. There is a Try Me, which is not really a Try Me. You just press this. I'm not gonna show anything, because it's literally, it's not a Try Me, it's just on. So, let me take this out of the packaging and, have us take a look, because Amazon bashed this box. Woohoo! So here we have the toy out of the box. Obviously here we have the Dynamite key, I assume. Obviously this was originally the Max Russo. Yeah. And obviously here we have the Dynamite Morpher itself. Obviously, typically I would have tried to dismantle this off of here. However, Hasbro made it difficult. So, I don't know, somewhere here is footage of the handle from the demo. But yeah, just like the Dino Fury Morpher, I think Hasbro did a nice job at replicating this. Like, this thing is like nearly identical to the original Japanese one. Obviously the biggest thing, or the biggest difference, is that this green is no longer present in here, because obviously this is now where the LEDs are. The chrome is still present. The green, metallic green, is pretty nice. I don't think this yellow is metallic anymore, but that doesn't really matter. I'll just do it from this perspective. Where you slot in the Dino Fury keys. I don't know what that was, I apologize. Where you slot in the Dino Fury keys, obviously there's like, this is where you slot them, and then this is a gap for the helmets, and the bottom is essentially, like so. This is where you're gonna replace the batteries, because I think this thing takes 2 triple A's. I don't remember. I think Hasbro does double A's. I don't remember personally, but brought it out here. So here's a size comparison with the Dino Fury Morpher. It's honestly kind of nice for Hasbro to like actually downsize an item for once, because it, like, this thing, and obviously, like, also it's just nice to actually see Hasbro do like an actual Morpher that isn't a wrist changer, because like, yeah, like obviously these are easy and such, but like, it's just kind of weird that they would, obviously to make them, I guess to make it themselves independent from Bandai's mold, they're like more bigger, which isn't bad, but it kind of is like kind of disproportionate. Here, however, it is downsized if you compare it to the original Max Russo changer. Obviously, because it's not as full to the hand. the Twin Breaker's literally behind me in a bin because I literally forgot this was literally Rear Soldier's Twin Breaker. But the handle is actually not bad. I can actually fit my fingers in, to my surprise. Obviously, the buttons that would typically be the activation or to like the attack, and then obviously we're going to cover this later, are sadly not buttons anymore. However, they technically are replaced with these. These were originally not buttons. Like on the original Japanese one, this was just a design thing, but they made it into a button and such. But anyways, that's essentially it for the Max, the Dynamite Morpher. Taking a look at the Dynamite key, the Dynamite Dino Fury key, I guess this full name. Just like the Max Rusol, again, it's downsized, and on mine the paint's kind of rough. Whoa. This one's genuinely the best key. Like, it's actually like a thing. It's not just a hollow foil sticker with just, you know, the head. Like, it's just nice to actually have a key that's somewhat accurate to the Japanese one. And then obviously for the gimmick, you open this up. Basically, the Morpher presses down this button and such, but you know, you can just simply open this up to get the face, which again, this is pretty nice. Like, obviously, I don't think the colors are as sharp, but it's pretty presentable. And then here's the track for this one, because obviously this one's not like this one, because technically, if this were to actually be able to go into the Dino Fury Morpher, it would have done the same one this one does, but it can't obviously fit because this thing is too big, even if you split it. So, as that falls, let's get into the functionality of this thing, which is a lot. Basically, this is coming in very late, but basically, not a lot of people really know how this toy works because the instructions, while they actually do visually tell you how to use it, it's not good enough for people to actually understand how to play with it. So, let me tell you how you're supposed to play with it. So, first of all, just like the Chroma Fury Saber, no on and off switch. Instead, you just simply press the main button like so. Turn it on. And interestingly enough, the main LED color to this is pink, which is neat. So that's the turn off sound. I don't know why it turned off right away. As you can see, it just the main LED colors are red, blue, and yellow. When you hold it down, that's when you switch it off, but when you press it, you get, I think it's technically, again, the red and white LEDs mixing together into a pink, but a lot more like convincing pink. There we go again. So obviously you get some attack sounds. I want to say about 2 light and 1 heavy. 3, that was a heavy. So you get at least 4 attack sounds. Now, this is where obviously they advertise the fact that there are 3 This thing likes going to sleep. There's 3 elemental abilities: lightning, ice, and fire. And the way you achieve them is through directions. However, the instructions are not clear about how exactly you achieve that, because all they show you is just pressing this thing and putting it in the direction. They don't tell you like how to do it, so let me do that. So the first one we're going to achieve is lightning, to which we want to position the Dynamite Morpher in down the basically you want the claws down, and so you press the core button like so, or you have to press it after you turn on, because then you get the standby, and then you get the yellow LED indicating lightning. So then again you get at least 4 attacks. That was the heavy. Let me zoom in. I think the LED's getting washed out. Again, if you want to achieve it again, just put it down. It's a lot difficult achieving like the light attacks. The lightning sounds are very similar to gold's sounds. And yeah. So to achieve ice, you want the Dynamite Morpher to be vertical or horizontal. So again, just press it again. So there we get those, or that sound from the Chroma Free Receiver. So there we get ice sounds. Again, it's really difficult trying to get the light attacks. And then lastly, fire is achieved with the claws up. And these fire sounds are at least new. They're not the same ones from the Dino Fury Morpher. And yeah, that's essentially it for the basic elemental attacks. So now, to transform into Dynamite Mode, as it turns off, just insert the key into the right slot. You cannot slot it into this slot because of this thing. Obviously, there's a big opening for this big long peg, so we'll slot it in like so. So you get the standby, which is technically just the transformation music just dimmed down. Obviously, it doesn't really play for that long. So obviously insert it like so. I don't know why it keeps opening. So you get the standby until you press the button here for the key to open. So then here you get the transformation music for Dino Fury, or the morphing sequence background, BGM, which is pretty neat. And then from here on you can actually do the basic attacks. So yeah, so just like the Beast X King Morpher, they actually decided to incorporate music from the show into this. However, this one they went up and beyond, as this thing likes to go to sleep. So if you just, if you want this to stop, I don't remember how, but however, you can actually press this up to a cycle of 5 times to cycle between 3 BGM tracks. So this is the second one. The attack sounds are the same. And then the third one, this more upbeat one, again, the attacks are the same. And then, in some weird, for some weird reason, the 4th and 5th cycles are the 2nd and 3rd tracks again. So you get that again. And then that, because it's not until the 6th press that you get the morphing BGM again. So when you're done, just simply flip it over and pull it out. So yeah. Next up, obviously, is the Dino Fury key compatibility, because obviously, just like the Max Resoul Changer, you can load up to 2 Resouls to do attacks. However, this one, it doesn't really matter which keys they are, because obviously we don't have as much keys, but they did something cool. So, basically, obviously, they actually made it so one key can actually do things. Unlike the Max Resoul Changer. The Max Resoul Changer, you had to have 2 keys, because it was a combination of, like, types of keys. So obviously of the souls, I mean, because obviously, you know, if you had 2 Ryu souls, then that was one attack. You had a Ryu soul and a Kyoryu soul, that was another attack. You had 2 Kyoryu souls, that was the final attack. However, what they did here is that they actually allowed you to have up to just 1 key. Such. So obviously I'm just going to use the Dino Fury, or the Chroma Fury Saber key, because it's technically supposed to be Dynamite Mode. And I'm going to slot into here, because my slot here is sucky. Thus, for me, the keys slot in a lot better in this slot. That's what happens when it airs out, because I forgot to say. Before you insert a key, just like, you need to select an element. So again, we're going to start with Thunder, which we're going to do gold then. So there we go, we get another BGM track as the standby for this one, and then we get, again, another 4 attacks. And then when we add in another key, which is not going to be fun, but because I'm going to have to hold down the button. Let's actually use pink. I'm going to have to hold down the button because, again, this slot, like, the keys are very loose in this slot. So again, slot in the 2nd key, and then keep the position down. So then we get this, again, the 2nd BGM track for Thunder, to which again we get 4 more attacks. Yeah. These ones aren't as long as, like, the Chroma Fury Saber, or the Dynamite Mode keys, but, you know, they're not bad. And just to show how loose this is, yeah, it's not supposed to do that. So, this next key we'll use blue and have him do the ice. So here's the BGM for the ice mode with 1 key. Then I'll do, where is he? I'll do the 2nd key. Yeah. Here's the standby for the ice mode with 2 keys. And as you can already see, you get chants now. Or an opera. So there's that. Last but not least, fire, which you don't need to press this again. You just need to insert the key in the position. You can press this again if like you just let this sit. Actually, not with 2 keys, because then it's gonna just only read the 1. So here's the standby for the BGM for the fire mode with 1 key. Then we will use another key. And here's the BGM standby for with 2 keys in fire mode. Again, I apologize if I'm not showing the light attacks. This is really finicky trying to show that. So that's essentially it. So each element mode has like a BGM track associated, whether how much keys you have, which is pretty cool. And also another neat thing is that just because of how it is, you can literally like actually slot in the Dynamite key and then insert the Dino Fury key. So acknowledge that it's 2. However, when you morph, it'll just skip to the to default BGM tracks for this key, and also just look how this is. There's literally space for the key to actually do this, which is funny. And as you can tell now, the red LED is actually present. And the thing is that you can get the morph track back. Because if I were to show with just to show this key with both or each element. So as you can tell, it actually does know which element you're in, which is pretty cool. And then last but not least, so it actually does know which track you're on, or which place you were at with this. Obviously the attacks aren't affected. But yeah, that's essentially the functionality with the keys, because there was actually 2 more things we needed to cover, to which this button, when you hold it down, kind of just does that, and then after that you just attack. And then it'll just turn off. Last but not least, is this button, to which originally, obviously, within Rear Soldier, as I said before, this button here was actually for the Russo Ken. And you can tell it makes a lot more sense, especially when you're holding it. Obviously, because this isn't a button anymore, they decided to make it this big giant button. So when you have the hilt of this pressing down this button, you get that, which is pretty cool because it's literally sounds from this thing. So the compatibility is actually like, wow, it actually feels like you actually did something. Obviously, the instructions insist on you scanning the red color for some reason. I don't know why you need to scan the color, but I guess to have double the fun, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, as this thing really likes turning off. This thing, like, you can, I want to just talk about this too, but I guess, you know, we're hitting the end of this thing. So, my thoughts overall on the Dynamite Morpher is that, it's definitely a lot better play-wise than this thing. This thing was fine, because, like, appearance-wise, it does a good job at being the result changer. Like, yeah, this thing is not really as smooth, and obviously, like, you know, just the look wasn't as good. Like, outline-wise, yeah, but, you know, it's just kind of like, the keys themselves just weren't amazing. And then, like, there's no clear play pattern, because all you did is just insert the key, spun it, and just sit there. Like, the sounds for this one aren't bad, but it's just like, there's nothing to it, essentially. This one fixes that by actually having music from the show, literally 9 BGM tracks. That's probably the most we're ever going to get out of Power Rangers. Like, because Power Rangers doesn't really release their soundtracks. So this toy, just like the Memorial Z-Riser, is going to be the only way you can actually listen to, like, tracks from Dino Fury and such. And again, like, this key overall is just pretty neat, because it's the only one that actually does a good job at actually trying to be the Japanese one, or like being a good substitute. Because obviously, like, they didn't just, like, made this a hollow foil sticker everywhere. It's like an actual thing. And this thing itself, like, I think for what they did with it, to try, like, you know, they did their own thing with, like, it's still, okay, it still essentially does the same thing like the Max Result Changer, but they did, you know, they did their own thing with it. They did their own twist with it, with having the element gimmick and such, which I think is pretty neat, because I think that was a thing that wasn't really touched upon with Max Russo Red, like, because that was kind of my issue with the power up, even though, like, I think I'm on the Christmas episode, but, like, I don't know, I just felt like Max Russo Red, in my opinion, doesn't really have anything defining for him besides, yeah, he got his armor off a guy sword. So it's just like, I don't know, that's why I'm not too big on it. But I just really like what this toy, like what Hasbro was able to do with this one, because most likely this is the only toy they actually care about within the line, and because obviously they don't really care for this, not franchise, but they don't care for this particular series for some reason. Again, my only issues with it is definitely how the Dino Fury keys work, because it's just unfortunate that, like, because from what I've seen from everyone else, it's this slot that's the issue of like holding the keys in, but for me it's the opposite. This slot holds in the keys very well, this one not so much. Anything that's not this thing fits. Which, again, is unfortunate, because it's like, this is supposed to be the main slot you slot the key in. But I have to put it in this slot and such. And, like, you know, like what I said before already, obviously we don't have any Kyoryu souls, so it's like for that to be able to like differentiate between what kind of Ryusoul you put in, it's like I don't care because they at least because they substitute that with it by just putting in one or two keys, like the Twin Breaker, because I don't remember if you could do that with the Max Ryusoul changer. And also, just again going back to this button, I genuinely don't know what it does. I thought it was a communication button. It's not. And I don't know if there's more modes to it because I feel like it's only stuck in lightning because I've like held it in this position to see if it does fire. It just sticks to lightning. And then if you do it this position, so I feel like this is the button they should have clarified. Other than that, I think it's a nice pickup. Or I think it's a decent Morpher. It's on par with like at least below the Beast X King Morpher. Like it's in the same way. Like I guess if I had to rank the Morphers as of now, this one will probably be at least below. I don't know, because I do not want to put it in second or third place. So let's just say 3.5. So because I still think the Dino Fury Morphers aren't as good as the Beast Morphers ones. But like this one, this one's definitely a huge improvement over the Dino Fury Morpher. But yeah, that's essentially all I have because I felt like this video was dragging, first of all, and obviously I don't remember if I stated this. Obviously, as you can tell, because this is at the end of a Zenkaiger week, I'm not going to pick up any more Dino Fury figures because I don't care for. First of all, I don't really care for Ryusoulger's suits, so I never really had the desire to pick figures of them if they weren't Russo Gold. And the thing is that the 7 keys I have are all 7 sounds within the Dino Fury Morpher. So if I continued collecting the figures, then you guys are just gonna get repetitive demos and videos and such because you guys are gonna go through sounds that you've already heard. And even though that's kind of the point of demos, it's just like, again, the thing is that I just don't care for the figures because I literally got these for the keys. So yeah, this might be the last Dino Fury review. I hope they put out some dumb weapon because I would genuinely actually would get it. Like, I want something as dumb fun as the Beast X King Saber. Give me another sword that spins, honest, or just either release the Gaisoken or the Ryusoul Caliber, so then I can scan, do more than colors, scan smell, scan dignity, face scan me,